Hey guys, welcome back to another Sports Stuff podcast. Today, I'm back with Aaron. Aaron, what is up?
Not much, man.
Very fun week 18. Officially, we now know coaches have been fired. Because I feel like it's too
Mhm.
late to now fire a coach. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're gonna fire them, it is
I don't
Black
know.
Monday.
What's his face in Dallas?
No, they've
They get blown
said
out.
they
He
will
said
not fire
if
him.
they lose 42-7 though, and he doesn't fire him, he needs to retire.
That's a good point. But the non-playoff teams, we know who's going to get fired because
Mhm.
that's something that you want to do immediately to then immediately start hiring new people. So
Yeah.
we know the people have been fired. Uh, Trade rumors are already happening. Extensions have already happened, and let's talk about it. But first up, we'll be talking about Week 18 as reactions. I don't want to talk about every game. I just want to talk about the important games because there's games where like this team shouldn't have like they sat everybody because they were already in the
Mhm.
playoffs. But
Yeah, there's a few blown ones.
yeah, Titans Jags clinched the AFC South. We both said the Jags would win. We both were right.
Hmm.
I think the Titans are about to go into full rebuild mode.
They are. They got an old team, and they don't have a quarterback. Their coach, he may move on.
Oh,
Like I
I
don't.
think Mike Vrabel's sticking it out, but I'm saying like
He might.
they started Josh Dobbs the last 2 weeks of the season. As a Browns
Yeah.
fan, I love Josh Dobbs, but they
Yeah.
started Josh Dobbs in the NFL season.
Yeah.
You're not trying to win games,
No, I think they're full rebuild.
and not if not a rebuild, I think they definitely are like next year they're not planning for the playoffs. Like I don't know if it'll be a full like 5 year rebuild.
If they can get a top five, top 10 quarterback either through the draft or through free agency, then they're a contender for next year. If not, they go full rebuild.
Yeah, but that's something we'll have to see after the off season because
Mhm.
obviously we don't know where Derek Carr is gonna go, where Tom Brady, like we don't know that kind of stuff. Um, that's not one that clinched anything. Oh, Bills Patriots. Bills knocked the Patriots out of the playoffs. Um,
They did.
in a
That was an exciting one.
disgusting manner. Like what a crazy game that was. Naeem Hines 2 kick return touchdowns.
Mhm.
Apparently, it's the first
Yeah,
time it's been done in
it
20
looked
years.
scary there. The Patriots earlier in that game looked like they were going to win it. Like they were the team that showed up, and then all of a sudden Bills come fighting back like they have all season. But
Yeah,
man,
yeah. I did a real quick about the Raiders game real quick. I had a
mhm,
parlay, a 11 leg parlay. 10 of the 11 legs hit. Want to know what didn't hit? Devontae Adams touchdown.
that sucks.
A $5 bet. 'Cause I did like 4 different like 11 leg
What would
parlays,
you have won?
like $20,000. 10 of 11 legs hit. 10
That's not
of
bad.
11. And what sucks worse is the Raiders game was first. So when he didn't score a touchdown, I didn't even look at it. I didn't even look at
Yeah,
it. And then
until later.
On Monday, I'm like, how'd that go? Oh my God. Jamal Williams, 2 touchdowns. David Njoku, a touchdown. All these different legs hit. Oh my God. I was so angry. So angry. But
That's why you never bet more than like $5 or $10
exactly. It was a
because
$5 bet. I'm like, let's see what happens. Uh, but yeah, I just want to make sure that was known. F you, Devontae Adams. I hope you go anywhere but the Bears. I hope you retire. How about that? I hope you retire.
he's not retiring. He's coming to the Bears, and it's going to be amazing.
Whatever. Jets Dolphins. Dolphins, a disgusting game as well. 11-6. Um, dude, what is going on with the Dolphins? Like, I understand they made the playoffs, but what are they doing?
I don't know, man. I
Like,
really don't.
that Bradley Chubb trade looks terrible by as the day goes on, just because he's not really
Hmm.
doing anything. Like,
Yeah.
what a disgusting season for them so far. Like they were 8-3, now they're 9-8. They lost 5 of 6 games to end the season.
Tua's been hurt, to be fair.
Always hurt. 3 concussions in a year.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No, that's why there's always been any quarterback that's been rumored to be traded as going to Miami because they're desperate for anyone.
Wait,
Just help Tua.
I think Tua's still worth something. I mean, he was an MVP candidate while he was healthy.
No, if he could stay healthy, he needs to go to a team that runs the ball 90% of the time and he has to throw. Big Ben early in Steelers, they had him throw 15 times in a game, but he was throwing for 70-yard touchdowns to Antonio Brown. So his stats looked fine, but he was only throwing it 15, 17 times, so he didn't have to put a lot of effort in. That's what he needs. He needs a good running game, a good offensive line. dominating defense, and he'll
Sounds
be
like the
your average
49ers.
quarterback. It does. I mean, he'd be good there.
Brock Purdy for Tua Tagovailoa. That's what we're gonna do. That's the story we're coming up with. There's one game I really want to talk about. Texans Colts. What an amazing finish for the Texans. That was an amazing fourth quarter. An amazing fourth quarter.
Dude, it looked like an interception on that touchdown. I was like, what a way to end it. Like, that's so sad. They were doing so good. And then I see he has it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just got the first round pick or the first pick in the draft. That is awesome.
Yeah, Davis Mills is the goats. That like he always has these random games where he goes off, and like that's why I'm like I think he's good enough to be a starter somewhere or one of the best backups in the
He'll be a
league.
journeyman.
Yeah,
He'll be a journeyman. He'll
he,
be a or not Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
yeah, he's either gonna be one of the high end backups or he'll be a low end starter, and like that's perfectly fine. That's how you stay in the NFL.
And that's how you make 10, 15 million in 10 years in
Yeah,
the NFL.
yeah, but I'm excited to see what his career does. Jeff Saturday, goodbye. Um, what's the next game? Oh, Cowboys. God, they suck. God, they suck, dude. Oh my lord. It's
They're a
20.
good team, and any good team coming off, that's why I'm a little scared that they're going to win, and then they're going to keep their coach, which they need to fire. They need Jimmy G. Jerry Jones needs to get over his ego and actually hire someone with an ego and a backbone as head coach, or just go coach him yourself. One of the two. That's essentially what you're doing. You're essentially being the coach, and it's just not working. It's been proved for the last 30 years. You being touching things and maneuvering things isn't working. So,
Yeah.
but a good team coming off a loss like that, they're going to show up really, really tight and really, really, they're going to be ready to go. They got embarrassed, but I mean, it was a great game though. It was exciting for the watch. I mean, saved Ron Rivera's job.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they didn't have a losing season technically, so 8-1.
8-1.
Uh, Rams Seahawks. Darn it! Darn it! Darn it! Darn it! Darn it!
Screw you, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Go to the XFL and make a amazing career. Get your butt out the NFL, dude. Oh my god.
He's good enough to be a starter, and that's what's so frustrating is teams keep making him a starter. And he's just not. He's not the guy.
I'm so you have no idea how frustrated I was because like he got the
Sean
ball.
McVay is debating retirement because of how bad Baker Mayfield is.
Like he got the ball in overtime, just like he did so many times with the Browns, just like he did in the 2020 playoffs, and he throws a interception to the defense. Oh my god, I hate him so much.
I mean, good on our Seahawks. They deserve that playoff spot.
No, they don't. The Lions do. The Lions do. We all
The
want
Lions 100% do, but like they deserve that playoff spot. Like they were a good team this year. They fell off towards the end.
I had money on I guess like it's a 1 game parlay. It was like 20 cents. Like I bet so little on these games. I put like 20 cents on DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett scoring a touchdown for like $1.50. So Tyler Lockett scores. Like, okay, how can they score another touchdown but lose this game? It's like the entire game I'm like doing chess pieces. Never scores a touchdown, but I'm like, okay, they can still lose this game. The Lions get in. We got this.
I did that a few weeks ago with the Miami and Aaron. I needed Aaron to like score a touchdown, then Miami to come back and still win it.
Yep.
Yep.
Nope. Never works out, man. You're always gonna lose no matter what. Like there is no winning in sports betting. Yeah, just disgusting game. I hate Baker Mayfield. I hope he never plays in the NFL again. Goodbye. God.
Yeah, but coming off that game, the Lions spoiled the Packers' playoff chances, which was just amazing. The amount of Seahawks players and coaches that have come out and like wearing Lions gear and like it is amazing. Like
yeah, I love Dan Campbell's mid-game interview of we're not making it in, but I'm not letting them make it in either. That's amazing. That's the energy you want.
Division. I hope all of these like teams stay the way that they are to the point where it's like each team had a chance to win the division this year. Early on, like if the Bears popped off and they didn't trade all those, a lot of people are like, yeah, the Bears lost 10 straight. Well, they traded their whole defense mid-season because they realized they weren't winning anything. They would have a few of those early games would have went differently. They would have been a contender because they were earlier in the season. But when you trade one of the best linebackers, one of the like all bunch of other players, you're not going to be in it. But It's so competitive. It's so much fun. The Lions were a great team. I really hope that they have good success. Even though I'm a Bears fan, I hope they have great success moving forward.
See that's me with the Bengals. Like last year, I was rooting for the
Yeah.
Bengals all playoffs, and then this year I'm like, okay, they can win all the games that aren't the Browns. But the minute we touch them, they're dead. But like whenever they're playing anyone else in the field, I'm rooting for the Bengals because I love their
And
story.
it's
I
just,
love
I
Joe
mean,
Burrow.
I just want every team besides the Packers in the NFC North to win.
Yeah. Well, I don't want the
That's
Vikings to win
that's
because
the
I
way
just
I
think it's
feel.
funny. I just think it's funny to have the Vikings not win.
I mean, yeah, but like the Vikings, they've never won a Super Bowl, and they're one of the oldest teams in the NFL. They deserve something.
No, I just love how the playoffs they don't put Kirk in prime time. He's at I believe it's a 1 o'clock showing. So everyone's like, oh, they got a chance. They got a chance. Any other time they're like,
That's
nah,
amazing.
it's not happening. It's not happening, y'all. But
You
it's
think that was on purpose?
no 100%. I'm
You
being
think
serious.
schedulers were like, we gotta
Give him a
we gotta
chance.
make
Like I think 100% they thought like, they actually thought about said, okay, we can't put him in prime time because we want the game to be like is a chance. Like, I don't know what it is. I think that was purpose. And last
Yeah.
game, Chargers Broncos. Why did the Chargers start people?
I don't know because they still lost.
And Mike Williams and Joey Bosa are hurt. They both got hurt in this game.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Russell Wilson looked really good, which is exciting.
How many touchdowns did he have?
Um, he had
Three.
yeah, he went off, man.
Oh my God! Call a contractor and put more houses, more bathrooms at his house. We need to motivate him next year. 20 touchdowns. We need 20 bathrooms. We need 21 touchdowns from him next year. That's the goal.
They interviewed John Harbaugh yesterday,
Oh my God! I
which is
don't care.
exciting.
I don't care. He's
It's
not leaving
exciting.
Michigan.
If any team, if he was leaving Michigan for any team, I would pick him to go to the Broncos.
He's not
It's a
leaving, dude.
perfect fit.
They have the number
I don't
one
think he is
recruiting
either, but right
class.
now he's in a lot of trouble with the NCAA.
Why?
They're trying to get he practiced things that he did. He did some illegal. He took some players out for burgers, and he says he doesn't, but I mean it's pretty much been
Oh,
proven
oh.
that he did. And I mean it was a bunch of dumb stuff, but it's looking like he's going to be fine. Michigan won't pay him big bucks. Like he wants to be the number one paid coach in college football. He kind of almost deserves to be one of the number one paid coaches in the
Definitely top
NCAA.
five. Definitely top five.
Yeah, and like he's gotten the team to the playoffs or the playoffs 2 years in a row. I mean, they should have beat TCU. That was just a fluke of a game, and they would have gotten hammered by Georgia as well. But
Well,
like,
Georgia would have lost Ohio State if they actually called. If they would have called against Marvin Harrison, you know,
I
intentional
feel like
helmet to
what
helmet.
should have happened in these playoffs, and we'll talk about the playoffs a little bit because that was a big thing that happened. But Georgia should have lost to Ohio State
Yep.
because they should have. Ohio State should have made it to the national champion. Michigan should have beat TCU because they should have, and we should have had a Michigan Ohio State game, and Michigan should have won that game.
Yep.
But they couldn't have beat Georgia. Ohio State could beat Georgia, and it's funny how these things work, but they're just built to beat different teams, and that's just the way it should have gone. And I'm very upset that it didn't, being a Michigan fan. But it
Yeah.
happens.
It should have been Michigan Ohio State, and that should have been what the NCAA wanted is a
It would have
rematch of
been,
the
yeah,
Big
it would
Ten.
have been the highest rated national. No one watched the national championship.
No.
It was on no one cared. They knew Georgia was going to win. There was no way TCU was going to have a dream scenario. They got blown out, and they should have.
Yeah, and
But
everyone was saying like that's why Alabama should have been over in TCU. No, TCU deserved to make
they
it,
deserve to be in it.
but they should not
They
have
deserve to
beat
win.
Michigan. That's the thing.
They
Michigan should
shouldn't
have
have.
beat
It was a
them.
fluke. What Michigan was caught in is I 100% guarantee they were focused on Georgia.
Yep, it's a trap game.
They thought they had TCU in the bag. They were focused on Georgia. TCU's good football team. They're physical. They got punched in the mouth, as I think it's George Floyd always said. Everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth.
That was not George Floyd.
Who was it?
George Floyd was the black man who was killed in 2020.
No, George Foreman is what I meant to say.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that the correct quote? Did I get the last name
I'm
mixed
sure
up?
it's right. It's a good quote, but like, yeah, you definitely got the names mixed up.
I got the names mixed up. That's fine.
Yeah, George Floyd was
We'll have
the
blooper
man
reels
killed by
at some
police,
point.
man.
Hey, we'll have blooper reels at some
It's
point,
fine.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh well.
But anyway, yeah, Absolutely, yeah. TCU should have made it past Michigan, and Ohio
No.
State should have won that game if they correctly called targeting helmet to helmet, because that would have been a
Yep.
touchdown right there. They would have won the game. Like they didn't.
Yep.
And
I mean,
also Marvin Harrison, like he was ready to go back in, but they held
mhm,
him out because they're like, "Well, you're injured, dude. You can't go back in."
yeah.
But like if they would have just called it, I'm sure he would have come
Mhm,
back in because they're like, "Okay, we got the yardage. You're all good. Get out there. We have a chance to win." But yeah,
mhm.
I absolutely agree that TCU should
Yeah.
deserve to make the playoffs. They should
They
not have made the
deserve to be
national
in the
championship.
playoffs. They should not have been in the national. They were not ready to be in the national championship. They don't have the team for it. They don't have the
No.
depth for it.
Yeah, and that's perfectly okay. That's okay. Not every team is built to make the national championship.
No.
Yeah,
It
there's
should
actually
have.
nothing wrong with
Michigan
that.
should have been in that game, regardless of who else was in there. That would have been still a good game. They would have lost by 2 touchdowns, but it wouldn't have been 65-7.
Yeah, ridiculous game. That was week 18 though.
Yep.
Nothing special. Just a bunch of teams sitting starters, teams that aren't in the playoffs playing. So it didn't really matter for a lot of
Chiefs
teams.
took care of business.
Yeah.
Bucks lost to the Falcons, which was kind of funny.
Well, they sat after Tom Brady got his record back. He then immediately sat. Immediately said, "All right, bye." Blaine Gabbert, have fun, man.
Yeah.
Did the Panthers win by a game-winning field goal or something?
Yep.
Yeah, good for
They
the
beat the
Panthers.
Saints.
Yeah, good
And
for the
now
Panthers.
Sean Payton's rumored to be interviewing with the Panthers as well, which is kind of funny.
No,
After they
that's
just
not
beat his team.
happening. That's not happening.
No,
The
it's not.
Saints are
But
not gonna let that
it,
happen.
no, there's nothing there for him to go to. He's going through to a team that's like borderline playoff Super Bowl team.
I
He's
think
going
him
there.
and the Broncos makes the most sense. So
I mean, I would pick that too if they don't get John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh should be the Broncos' #1
yeah,
coach candidate, just hands down. He'll be amazing with Russell Wilson, but
yeah, we'll see.
it's a topic for a different day.
Moving on, we have playoff predictions. So Aaron has his own playoff predictions. I have my own predictions all the way to the Super Bowl and who we think's gonna win the Super Bowl. So wild card, give me your wild card in the AFC. Who's beating who in the AFC?
The AFC, all right. First game up, we got the Jags and the Chargers. A lot of people are picking the Chargers, and I understand why. Justin Herbert's a generational player, but he's got a bunch of injured players all around him. They're hobbling into the defense, and the Jaguars have caught fire.
Mm-hmm.
They got a good coach that's been there before. I actually have the Jaguars winning this game because I just think they're healthier. They have a really good Trevor Lawrence quarterback who's a generational talent himself, and I think Herbert just doesn't have enough help. Moving down the list, we got the Dolphins and Bills. I think the Bills. I think this is the one game that could be like
Ravens Bills.
a complete blowout. Like
You mean
Bills
Ravens?
and Dolphins.
It's not.
Huh?
It's not Dolphins. It's
Yeah, it
Ravens.
is.
It's Ravens Bills. Ravens
No,
are
it's
the
not.
six.
It's Dolphins.
Ravens are the 6th seed. Bills are the 3 seed. 6 and 3 go against each other.
It's the Bills and the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Well, so
Let
yeah,
me pull it up.
it's the Ravens because the Ravens are the 6th seed. Because it's 4, 5, 3,
See.
6, 2, 7. I mean, your point still stands. It's going to be a blowout, but
It's going to be a blowout regardless, but let's see who is wrong here. No, it's Bills Miami. On NFL, according to NFL Network.
NFL wildcard. ESPN.com. Why?
I mean, it's kind of-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 3. Oh, what the heck? This website's wrong that I'm using. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have the Ravens and Dolphins as flip seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Yeah, go you. So my stuff is wrong then. I need to redo this. Okay, you go you. Yeah, go you.
Okay,
Keep
yeah,
going.
you focus on your stuff. I can
Yep.
continue on going through my bracket. Yeah, so anyway, Bills Miami. Yeah, because they're the #2 seed, so they take on the 7th seed.
Yeah, so my
different.
divisional is gonna be messed up as well because it has the Bengals as a 2 seed, not the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna be a little messed up. It's fine.
I think that week, whatever game that all that drama went down kind of messed that up a little bit. I think that's what happened.
Oh,
so it
yeah.
confused a few people. Anyway, so I have the Bills winning that game regardless. I mean, it was going to be a trouncing regardless of whether and it really doesn't change that much in my opinion either because the Bengals I think overcome the Ravens as well. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game, but Lamar Jackson's still rumored to be hurt. He didn't practice today as the day of recording this on Wednesday. He didn't practice today. He's still listed as doubtful. So unless John Harbaugh's playing some tricky stuff and doesn't want people to think that he's going to play, which is possible.
I think it's 100% possible.
Um, I still think the Bengals win regardless of Lamar Jackson's status. So, yeah, that's my AFC. Do you want to go through your AFC, or you want me to continue going so you can fix your?
I can do AFC. My NFC is fine. It's only the AFC that got messed up because that Bills game.
Okay.
So yeah, I have Jaguars also winning. I think if Mike Williams and Joey Bosa would have been healthy, it might have been more of a coin flip. But
Yeah.
I think they got hot at the right time. The Jaguars.
They did.
They have a Super Bowl winning head coach. The Chargers do not have that.
Doug Peterson.
They have basically the same quarterback. Let's be honest here. They're basically the same quarterback.
They're both very talented young quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Jaguars' running game more as well. Austin Eckler has weeks where he doesn't do anything, and then he has weeks where he scores 5 touchdowns.
He's inconsistent.
Yeah, what's Austin Eckler going to do this week? I like the Jaguars' defense. I love their defense right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like their secondary, but I love their front seven. I love their front seven. So I'm gonna go Jags. So Bengals Ravens, not Bengals Dolphins. Bengals Ravens. I think the Bengals still, even if Lamar played, I still think Bengals just better. Like they could stop the.
They're a really good team.
You gotta think. The Bengals see the Ravens twice a year. They've seen Lamar twice a year for the last 5 years. They know how to stop the Ravens. The AFC
and
North,
Lamar Jackson's record in the playoffs is just atrocious.
But yeah, I'm not gonna blame Lamar for that. I'm blaming that they don't help him. They don't draft help for the Ravens. They just keep drafting defense. He needs help on offense. Please help him. But yeah, the Bengals. If every time I see the Ravens in the playoffs, if they're facing an AFC North team, I'm picking the other AFC North team because we see them twice a year. We know how to stop Lamar more than anyone else in the league. So the Bengals over that team, and Bills Dolphins. If Tua was playing, I might pick Tua and the Dolphins, but the Bills are gonna blow them out. It's not gonna be close.
It's not gonna be close.
No, I would honestly be shocked if I didn't put this weekend $20 on Stephon Diggs 2 touchdowns and Josh Allen running touchdown. Like I might put money on that because that's a for sure.
That's a little scary though because if it's up, they're up 30. Are they gonna continue playing Josh Allen?
It's the playoffs. You got to. It's the playoffs. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
It's gonna be Teddy Bridgewater this week. No way they play Skylar Thompson. There's no way.
No, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the second string. He broke his thumb.
Oh my god, dude.
That was released today as well.
Jesus.
He broke his thumb, so unless they have to go with him, he cannot play. So he can play.
Who's their emergency quarterback?
I have no idea.
Miami Dolphins emergency QB. I wonder who's their emergency quarterback. Cedric Wilson.
That's fun.
Their wide receiver Cedric. Not even okay. No, the Dolphins are losing.
Yeah, they're injured.
Yeah,
I just don't. I think it would have been better if the Patriots got in. I think they played the Bills really well. I think you had that matchup again. I think the Patriots might have even won that matchup. But yeah, the Dolphins are the Dolphins.
I mean, honestly, what should have happened? The Titans win, Jaguars are the 6th seed, and then that means the Ravens are the 7th seed. That would be the best playoffs. Because the Dolphins, Patriots, and Steelers, I don't want to see none of them in the playoffs. The Titans would lose immediately, yes, but that means the Jags are still
Steelers
in the playoffs.
aren't good enough this year.
Yeah.
Steelers are like a quarterback away from being contenders.
Yeah.
They'll be exciting next year. Hopefully they'll get a quarterback, but who knows? But you want to kick off the NFC or you want me to kick it off?
I can kick it off.
All right, go ahead.
So 4 or 5 seeds is the Buccaneers Cowboys. Cowboys at Buccaneers, just like it started off. I believe the last 2 seasons, it's been this kickoff of the season is Buccaneers Cowboys. Am I right? The last 2 seasons.
I know it was last season. I'm pretty sure you're right, but
I think it was technically Rams someone else the first game.
Yeah.
But the second game that wasn't the Super Bowl winner was this team. So they play them. They play them so much. It's gonna be the Buccaneers. They've got it. They're gonna beat the Cowboys. Nothing against the Cowboys. they're just not built to win the Super Bowl. They're not. They're built to win in the regular season, and they could even win their
Yeah.
division in the regular season. When like the Eagles literally were without Jalen Hurts for 2 weeks.
I feel like if it was any team besides the 49ers and the Buccaneers, they would be given a chance.
Yeah.
Like they could beat the Vikings, they could beat the
Giants,
Giants, they could beat the
Seahawks.
Seahawks, but they're not beating the 49ers, and I don't think they can beat Tom Brady in prime time.
They had to win a division, man.
Yeah.
They're not at home at all in the playoffs. They're away every
Mm-mm.
time. I don't trust them.
Nope, I
Vikings
don't trust that.
Giants. Yeah, Vikings Giants. I'm taking the Giants.
Yep.
I don't feel bad at all. So I don't feel bad at all for taking the Giants. Like they're
Nope.
they're red hot.
Yep.
Their starters are red hot. I'm pretty sure they lost this
Mhm.
weekend. Their starters are red hot. The Vikings.
No, the Giants won. Did they? I
No,
don't
they
know.
faced the Eagles.
Never
They
mind.
faced the Eagles, and the Eagles had the.
Oh yeah, and the Eagles won. That's right.
The Eagles had the win for one seed.
I was thinking the Washington.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Vikings
The
Giants.
um,
I'm going Giants. The Vikings. Their defense isn't good. It's been every single YouTuber has a video why the Vikings aren't good. So I'm not gonna get into it. If you want to know, just look up Brett Coleman Vikings. Giants are red hot. I like them. 49ers Seahawks. I love Geno Smith, but they shouldn't have been here. They shouldn't have been here. They should have been the Lions
I think
49ers.
if the Lions were in this game, I think
It'd
it
be a
would be a lot
conversation.
more fun of a matchup.
It'd be a
I think it would have
conversation.
been. 49ers are probably winning that game, but it would have been a lot closer of a topic.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers because I don't think the Seahawks can beat them. But this, again, it's a divisional game.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
They know each other. Again, every time I see a divisional round, both teams
And
know each other
what are
more
you
than
gonna
anyone
like,
else.
Brock Purdy? Like, what do you like? You just never know with a quarterback that's not had a lot of starts.
Yep. I mean,
He throws 4 interceptions. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's just it is what it is.
yeah, and you can't get
But-
mad at him either. Like you got like, well,
Yeah.
that's what we gotta expect from him. He was
Yeah,
undefeated.
you can't-
Yeah, eventually wait for the bad game. What's your NFC?
My NFC will start with the 3 and 6 seed, the Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings aren't a bad team. I don't think they're a great team.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, they suck." They're not. They're scary in certain spots. The fact that Justin Jefferson can just beat you deep and I think he can beat the Giants deep a lot. But unless this is a complete shootout and they can somehow put up 42 points, which they can, they've proven it time and time again this season. I don't. If in any scenario besides a shootout, I think the Giants win. So I have the Giants winning here. I don't think Daniel Jones can win in a shootout, but if any other scenario, if it's a 24-21 game, or if it's a closer game where defenses, which the Giants have a decent defense, I think the Giants win here. So we agree on that one. We'll go down to the 2 and 7 seed. We just talked about it. I kind of gave a little spoiler to who I thought. The 49ers are going to win this game. I don't think anyone's picking the Seahawks. It's just they're too good of a team, vying like Brock Purdy just goes out and stinks or somehow gets injured. They're going to win. And so Bucks Cowboys, I still have the Bucks winning this game. A lot of people are switching to the Cowboys because they don't trust the Bucks. I think the Bucks are good enough. They're healthy. They're getting a lot of their wide receivers back. I just think Tom Brady is good enough to be one playoff game. But that is my wild card. So
If you want to move on to your AFC divisional.
All right, cool. So with the Jaguars being the Chargers, we have the Chiefs and Jaguars, the number 1 and number 4 seed. I think this is much more of a competitive game than what people think it will be, but I just don't think the Jaguars are prepared enough to beat the Chiefs in this spot. Andy Reid with a bye week is pretty much undefeated. He's going to be prepared. He's going to be ready. I think they're probably preparing for the Jaguars because I think they see the same things that we do. And so since they're preparing for the Jaguars, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good game. And I think the Jaguars need him to have an amazing game to win. And I don't think that's going to happen. So I have the Chiefs moving on there. And then with the Bills beating the Dolphins and the Bengals beating the Ravens, we have the Bills and Bengals in the divisional round matchup. I think this is going to be a great game. If this happens, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think we could see one of the greatest
DeMar
playoff
Hamlin will
games.
be in the. It will be in at the benches. 100%.
Attendance.
He'll be there.
Yeah,
He'll be there.
yeah. He won't be playing, but he'll
No,
be in
God no,
attendance.
God no.
Yeah.
No, he will be
He
there.
might. He was released from the hospital today.
Well, yeah, but
So he
he's
might
not.
be.
He's on one. He's on IR for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And two.
No, he's not
And
playing.
two. Dear God, don't play. It's just-
Yeah, he could be at the Dolphins Bills game was what I was going to say.
Yeah, he'll
but
be there.
He'll probably for sure be at the Bengals Bills game if it plays out the way that I think it's going to. And honestly, the Bills have been winning by a lot of chance, and I don't think you can do that in the playoffs. I don't think you can win by miracle or whatever. I think their luck runs out here, and I think the Bengals are just a better team going into the playoffs. They're healthier. I think they have the better quarterback. I think Joe Burrow has proven he's the better quarterback over Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is more talented, but he makes too many mistakes. So, I love Josh Allen, but I think he's going to make one of his trademark mistakes in this game, and that's what's going to put the Bengals over the top. So, how about you? Your AFC?
Yeah, I also have Chiefs, Jaguars. I think the Jags will beat the Chargers. 1-4
Mhm.
seed. I think the Jags are 1 year early. I said this
Yep.
all season. I think they popped like
Mhm.
good for them. Good for
Yep.
them. I'm happy for them, and I'm
Mhm.
happy for Duval County.
Yep.
You're 1 year early. You're 1 year early. I thought with
Mhm.
if they have Calvin Ridley and another draft pick on defense, like a corner or safety, which I do have them taken a
Mhm.
secondary member in my mock drafts. I think they're 1 year early. I think next year is when they're really going to start popping off. I would be surprised at a 12-13 win season from next year.
Yeah.
Especially with that garbage AFC South. Dear God, I wish I was in that division.
You know what's super fun thought? We need to look this up later when we're talking about a different topic. I wonder where Jalen Ramsey is on his contract.
No,
Because with the
no,
Rams somewhat
stop.
exploding, could he
No.
come back to the Jaguars?
No,
Like,
dude,
how
no.
fun would that be? Okay, moving on.
Didn't you text me this? What was it? You texted me about someone returning. It was Lovie Smith before the show started. He said Lovie Smith can come back to the Bears.
No, you said that.
What did you say? Hold up.
No, you said that. I did not say that.
You texted me something about like someone coming back. Roquan Smith.
Oh,
Roquan
Smith. Yep.
Why would Roquan go back to the Bears? Why would Jalen go back to the
Bears? He's been quoted saying, "I love the city of Chicago. I love the people. I love the team. I love the fans. I want to be a Chicago Bear for life." He's
saying that to get money. He's saying that to get money.
I know that. I get that. I know. I think it was truthful. I think it was truthful. But I think he realized I'm gonna make $100 million with the Ravens. I'm gonna stay there. Which fair. So
when you texted me that, I audibly went, "Oh!" I'm like, "No, he's not going back to the Bears. He would never go back to the Bears."
I think if he went to the free agency and we offered him the same, like let's say we made the same offer the Ravens did, I think he would choose the Bears over
But
the
guess
Ravens.
what? Every team would be offering him that deal. He'd have his pick of every 32 teams because he's that good of a linebacker.
Barring a Super Bowl contender, because a Super Bowl contender is not making him that $100 million contract 5-year deal.
Are you saying the Ravens aren't Super Bowl contenders?
No, I think they've proven that they're not Super Bowl contenders.
They had one season. They had one season to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
2019.
I think they're done for the next, like in the Jim. I mixed them two up.
Yeah.
The Harbaugh era and Ravens, I don't think they'll win another Super Bowl. That's my take, but we'll never know. So, yep. Anyway, you got the who do you got in that Jags Chiefs game?
Yeah, I got Chiefs winning. Again, Jags 1 year early, but that's a great story.
Yeah.
Because now, guess what? The Jags can go in the free agency. If you look at the defensive line class, it is a stellar D tackle class this year. Yeah. They can go in the free agency. Hey guys, look, we just went 10-7, 9. I think they went 9-8 actually. We went 9-8. We won our division. We won a playoff game.
4-2 in their division.
Yeah, we won. We won a divisional. We won a wild card round against Justin Herbert, and let's just say they go like. It's like 31-20.
It's a nice free agency spot too. It's a warm state.
Yep.
No
taxes.
No taxes. No taxes. It's a good free agency spot.
That's what I was saying with when the Browns got Deshaun back. I didn't want the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I just wanted a 4-2, 5-1 record because then you can go in the free agency and make a pitch. Look, with Trevor Lawrence, with Deshaun Watson, we went 5-1. We went 9-8. with you, we can go 13-3 or
Yeah.
4 now. But I think that's what they're playing for, just making a pitch in free agency. And the
Mhm.
Chiefs are gonna win, whatever. But this is the game I was having trouble picking. Bengals Bills. It's gonna be at
It's fun.
Bills,
Yep.
dude. I don't even know. I would like. Who did I say? I think I have the Bengals winning. I think I'm gonna pick the Bengals. Um,
Yeah.
I get it. Damar
Mhm.
Hamlin will be on the benches. He'll be there 100%. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
man. You're about to watch your team lose. Like, it's gonna be
I
a great
just
game. Great game.
I
Great
think
game.
no, it's going to be an amazing. I just still believe that Josh Allen's going to make that trade line mistake
Yep.
that cost them the game. That's where it comes down to is like when it's a blowout game, he's going to make that red zone interception that he's known for, and they're going to lose.
Yeah, and I think the Bengals are just so good on offense, and their defense has been so good this year. It's gonna be the
I love
Bengals.
Joe Burrow. I
Yeah.
love Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I really hope the Bengals. I mean, who knows? Will they make the Super Bowl this year? We'll talk about it eventually in this
Yeah.
segment. But Bengals over Bills. That means it'll be Chiefs Bengals at Kansas City for. Is that
Mhm.
yours as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So both of us
We
have.
agreed so
I'm
far.
sure. We might differ on who wins that, but the AFC on both of our ends up being Chiefs
Bills.
Bengals in.
Yeah, Bengals.
Yeah, Chiefs
Chiefs.
Bengals in Kansas City for the AFC Championship
Yeah.
game, and for the NFC, that would then mean it would be Buccaneers at Eagles for me. We had the same picks
Mhm.
as well, right? We had Bucks, Giants,
Yep.
49ers.
Yep.
Okay, so
It's Giants Eagles because Eagles are the 1 seed.
Giants are
Then it would
six
be
seed.
49ers Buccaneers because the
Okay,
49ers are the 2 seed.
right. I'm picking
Would be
Eagles.
another play.
Yeah, Eagles
Yeah.
over Giants. Nothing against. Again, same thing with the
Mhm.
Giants. 1 year early. I think they're one
Yeah.
year early. They can go in the
Mhm.
free agency just like the Jags and say, "Hey, look, we won a playoff game
Yeah.
against a 13-4 team. We
Yeah.
beat them, and we went to the Eagles. Lost, obviously, but it's a good pitch. It's a good pitch, man. That's all I'm trying. These teams has got to play
Yeah.
for pitches for free agency.
Mhm. I really,
And
honestly, yeah, I'll get it into my segment, but go ahead, continue.
yeah, and then Buccaneers at 49ers. Oof, dude.
Tough game.
The Tom Brady, I'm taking down my childhood team to go to the NFC Championship game in my final
It'd be
season.
beautiful.
Dear God, please be your final season. In your
It's
final,
not.
it won't be, but
If
in
he
my
wins a Super Bowl this year, it's his final
oh,
season. Let's just
100%,
not argue it.
100%,
Yeah.
he's done. He's done if he wins the
Mhm.
Super Bowl. But yeah, Buccaneers at 49ers. I'm gonna go 49ers, but dear God, I know Tom Brady's gonna win this game. That's the thing. I'm picking the 49ers, knowing Tom Brady's gonna win this game. Because if I'm right no matter what. But if I'm wrong, I'm right no matter what as well. It's just like
Yeah.
I think no matter what, it's gonna end up being Tom Brady versus the Eagles rematch of the Super Bowl in the NFC Championship
Mhm.
game. That's what I truly believe is gonna happen.
Yep. Can you imagine Tom Brady beats the Cowboys, who is rumored to go to over the Buccaneers a few years ago? Like that was Tom Brady bubble. Like the Cowboys were in that. Beats them. Then goes on the road to beat the 49ers, his hometown favorite team. Then he goes and beats the Eagles, who he lost the Super Bowl to the Nick Foles, to go into the playoff or to the Super Bowl,
To
which he'll
beat
lose because
with
he's
to
not
beat
beating either the Bengals or the
yeah
Chiefs. But
to then would maybe
or
beat the
well, let's say,
Chiefs.
hey, let's say something crazy. Then he goes. Let's say the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. Then he goes up against the Chiefs, who he lost the Super Bowl to.
No, he did. He won.
Or no, he didn't. He
But
won.
he can
Yeah,
say he
but
can
then
stake his
back to back.
claim. I'm better than
Yeah,
you, Patrick Mahomes.
I'm the better than Patrick
and retire.
Mahomes. Like,
And
that would just
retire.
be-
That's the
If that
storyline.
happens, the NFL is rigged.
Dude, did we just make this? Did we just find the NFL script? Did we just find the
Yeah.
NFL script?
That might be the NFL script.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I think never mind. I'm changing all my picks. Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. I'm changing all my picks. Never mind. And no matter what, it's the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. But yeah, Buccaneers 49ers. I'm gonna say 49ers, but I know Tom Brady's winning this game. I know it. But yeah, so
I really hope.
yes,
I want to see it.
I have 49ers beating the Buccaneers and then the Eagles beating the Giants. What's your NFC?
Yeah. I think the Giants could play upset in this game.
Mhm.
I really do. Just because
Divisional
the Eagles they've been limping. They've been limping into so similar how I've picked a few teams. Like I don't know, like they've been a little bit questioning, and I don't think the Eagles given a week off is going to be much help. I think a good coach giving a week off, it's a benefit. I think they have an average coach that's not proven himself. I think he could be a great coach in the future. He's just really young. So, um, I think Brian Dable could play upset here. I still have the Eagles though, because they are the better team. They should
Yeah.
win this game. So I just think the logical sense it should be the Eagles. I could see the Giants playing upset here though, and getting to the conference championship. Whoa, that would be even funner. Instead of the Eagles, the Giants, the team he lost
Oh
two
my
Super Bowls
god.
to.
Oh my god.
I love it.
No matter
Anyway,
what that storyline, if he makes it to the NFC Championship game, is
that's
the
still
setup.
just amazing. Anyway, the 49ers and Buccaneers. It's going to be a fun game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
No.
Um, I think it'll be close. I think logically it should be the 49ers. I'm going with logic here, not my heart. I think the 49ers will win that game, and it will be Eagles 49ers in the conference championship game.
Isn't it crazy how like no one likes Tom Brady during the regular season, but the minute the playoffs starts, I'm like Tom Brady's gonna win the Super Bowl. I know it. It's so
Just
weird.
because he's done it so many times that you're like, how can you pick against him?
Yep. In every game he plays, there's a chance. There's a good chance. The Buccaneers versus Brock Purdy, that's a very good chance.
He
The
was still top 5 in passing this year.
Yeah, like it's
That's like
insane.
how everyone's like Tom Brady's. He's top 5 in passing.
It's insane.
Get out of here. He's not washed it whatsoever.
Yeah. So what's your NFC Championship game, and who do you think's gonna go to the Super Bowl through that?
Yeah, I got the Eagles and the 49ers obviously up to this point. It should be the 49ers in this game. I know a lot of people are going to think the Eagles. 49ers have proven a lot more to me than the Eagles have. I think the Eagles are, like you said, for a few other teams, they're 1 year early for a Super Bowl run. I think they'll be a Super Bowl favorite next year if they get the right pieces and a few free agencies and they have a good draft. I think it would be really exciting. I don't think Jalen Hurts is 100% healthy, and I think they need 100% healthy running, rushing Jalen Hurts to win this game, and I don't think that he will be. So I think, barring again, the big question mark is Brock Purdy. Can he just hold down the fort and win the game? That's all. He just throw 200 yards, complete 70% of your passes. Don't throw an interception. That's all you got to do, and they should win this game. So I have the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
See, I really want to just completely change my pick so far and go Tom Brady.
I mean, you can.
But like because then it's gonna be like, oh yeah, Nick's dumb. Why would he ever say Tom? But like, dude,
I don't
I
think
remember
that's a dumb pick.
like I had the 49ers over the Buccaneers, but as I think about it more, it is Brock Purdy against the Buccaneers defense. Now,
I
is it
might put $5 on the Bucks to win the Super Bowl.
yeah, but the thing
I
is,
might.
like the Buccaneers don't have a
Yeah.
bad defense. It's not the defense of yore where they won the Super Bowl, that great defense.
No, they've had a struggling offense that has made them play more conservatively because the offense has been injured.
Yep.
So that's what it is. Now they're healthy, so the defense is going to be more pin your ears back, go after the quarterback.
Like, you know,
That's scary.
I don't want to pick against Tom Brady. I might go Tom Brady at least. I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Tom Brady over the 49ers, the Buccaneers over the 49ers. But this is where I'm going to think the run ends. I think it will be Eagles over Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. That's where I'm going to stop it. That's where I'm like, okay, we're done. Now it's going to be Eagles over the Buccaneers. If it was the 49ers, I'm with you. It's the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think Brock Purdy's going to have to face that defense, that Brian Flores defense. Yeah. Not Brian Flores. Who's our head coach?
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. The Todd Bowles defense. He's gonna have to face it. I'm gonna say they beat Brock Purdy, but they're gonna lose to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
That's not a bad pick. That could definitely happen. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. And this is kind of the point. I think we're just predicting when Brock Purdy is going to have his off game.
Yes.
I think it's what's essentially happening. The 49ers, if they had Jimmy G or Trey Lance, they're winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm sorry, they're too good of a team.
Jimmy G. I don't know about Trey Lance.
They found the cheat code.
Yeah.
Maybe not Trey Lance, but especially Jimmy G. But they found the cheat code. They somehow got like all these great players, and they should win the Super Bowl this year. Barring we don't know what their quarterback's going to do.
Yeah, eventually he is the very last pick in the NFL draft for a reason.
Yeah.
Like nothing against him.
Stats though, he wasn't bad.
No, he was not
at
bad.
any point. He was essentially what a Tom Brady would be in the NFL, or a different.
Just like Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi was not a bad quarterback, but he just fell in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna go Eagles in the Super Bowl over the Buccaneers.
Yep.
But again, if it is the 49ers Eagles, I'm saying 49ers all the way. But
Yeah.
Eagles, I'm gonna go to the NFC. AFC would then be Chiefs, Bengals. Yes, Chiefs, Bengals for me.
Yep. And we agree on that.
Dude,
What do you have going to the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna say it. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. I
It's not a bad
think
pick.
whatever it is the Bengals do, they are like I understand like everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs are gonna finally upset the Bengals. No, no, no. The Bengals are gonna continue.
Bengals have owned them.
They have owned them.
They have.
Bengals will go to the
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl. It'll be Bengals Eagles. What a great Super Bowl that would be. No, like it wouldn't be Chiefs Buccaneers or it wouldn't be big teams. It'd be Eagles, a smaller market team. They're not
Yep.
small, but smaller.
They're not small. They're smaller. They're
And the
not a free
Bengals
agency
are,
hot shot.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Bengals are a small market team. They just are.
100%. Yeah.
That would be amazing for the city of Cincinnati
Mhm.
and the city of Philadelphia. And those are two of the craziest fan
I think
bases.
that's a really exciting. That's not the NFL has the tendency to feel a little bit like Tom Brady was a cheat code, and he always kind of okay. The Patriots are in the Super Bowl for the many years.
And now Mahomes is that.
Yeah, and it is, but he's been wish-washy the last few years. But yeah, no, I could definitely see the Bengals winning this game and going to the Super Bowl.
And guess what? I think having a true number one wide receiver is going to be the
Mhm.
reason why the Bengals win. They have two number one
That's a
receivers,
good point.
dude. They have
Mhm.
two number one receivers. The
They do.
Chiefs, I think that this is where the run's going to stop. I think they're going to
Yep.
go into this offseason.
They got to
And
double team Travis Kelce.
They get double team
And then
Travis Kelsey
that's
and double team
mhm.
Juju, and you're good.
Yep.
Like I think I think the Chiefs are going to this offseason. I'll
Mhm.
say it. It hurts my soul. DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs.
I could see it.
But yeah, I think the Bengals. It'll be Bengals Eagles for the Super Bowl for me. What about you?
Yep. This is the one that I took the most time on, minus the Bills or the Bengals and the Bills. Just because I think the winner of this game wins the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is your AFC Championship is going to be the winner of the Super Bowl because there's so many questions in the NFC North. So if the 49ers are in that spot, who I have right now, is Brock Purdy going to be able to play in the Super Bowl? If the Eagles, is Jalen Hurts healthy? Is that team ready to be in a Super Bowl? Like, if the Giants run like any team in the NFC North is just a big question mark, in my opinion. So I think either the Bengals or the Chiefs could beat any of the teams in the NFC North. They should win. They should be favored. I think Patrick Mahomes puts his flag. I am the best quarterback in the AFC North. Or in the AFC. I am going to win, and I think the Chiefs are going to make it. I think Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they are tired of getting embarrassed. I think they're going to make a run like we haven't seen from the Chiefs in a few years because they have a fire lit under them like they haven't had. Like they've just been favored. They're not favored. I think Bengals will have the favorite in that game.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it'd be the Chiefs. I think the Bengals will be the betting favorite in that game because they've owned them recently. I think the Chiefs being an underdog, they haven't been an underdog. They win really good when they're an underdog. And so I have the Chiefs going to that game.
So you have Chiefs, 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Yep, you have Eagles,
Bengals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, as I said, if the 49ers do beat the Buccaneers, it's 49ers Bengals for me. I just think the Bengals are better than the Chiefs right now. So your Super Bowl is Chiefs, 49ers. Who do you think wins that Super Bowl? Chiefs, 49ers.
I think that's the game Brock Purdy kind of shows up and shows that he's not an NFL quarterback. I think he throws 2 picks in that game. He turns over the ball, does something. And I think Andy Reid's going to be prepared for a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback. And I think the Chiefs are just the better team at that point. The 49ers are 100% better roster. I think they're the better team, better coach, better. I think they take over the 49ers. And I think Patrick Mahomes stakes his flag. I am the NFL now. I think that's what's the storyline that it's going to happen. Barring Tom Brady barring like anything crazy, I really think going into this, I did not have the Chiefs. Like when I was plating the games, I thought it was going to be Bengals Bills winning the Super Bowl. That's just how I felt about it. But when I really looked at it and I really did some research and I really thought it through, I think the Chiefs are your Super Bowl winner this year.
Okay. I mean, it's very, very possible you can't bet out Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Yeah, for me, I have Bengals, Eagles. Again,
Hmm.
as I said, I love having smaller markets in the Super Bowl because it brings
It's
so much.
fun.
It brings so much money not to only to the cities but to the
Yep.
teams as well. The Bengals, they lost the Super Bowl last year, but because they
Hmm.
made the Super Bowl, you get like a kicker for being in the Super Bowl. They
Yep.
built an indoor stadium with that kicker.
Hmm.
Like I love that. I love that idea of like, oh, small market teams make a run and they improve
Yep.
their facilities to then get
Yep.
more people that want to come join their
Yep.
team. Bengals, Eagles. Oh man, that is. I would have put money on that game. That's how close I think those teams are. Like I think the Bengals are the better team. I think they'll probably win that game. But like roster
Hmm.
person to person,
Hmm.
wow, they are so close to being even.
They're very similar
Like
with like talent.
I don't know.
Eagles have like two starting wide receivers. They got good rushing games.
The thing is, I like Nick Sirianni more than I like Zach Taylor, but I like
Uh,
Joe Burrow more than I like Jalen Hurts.
that's tough.
Even though I love Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna go Bengals. I'll go Bengals. That'll be one of the highest scoring games no matter what.
Hmm.
I think no matter who makes it, whether it's
Yeah,
Chiefs,
I
Bengals,
think we're gonna have a very
Bills,
exciting, yeah, Super Bowl.
because it's gonna be Chiefs, Bengals, or Bills from the AFC, one of those
Mhm.
three teams. Eagles,
Yeah,
49ers, Bucks. I'll say is a three. I think for the NFC.
yeah.
No matter what, it's gonna be a high scoring game.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited for this year's Super Bowl. But I have the Bengals being knighted as Super Bowl champions, and you have the Chiefs. So we both
Yep.
think the AFC is way better.
I just think the AFC is healthier.
Yeah.
Is really what it is. I think 49ers, if they had a quarterback, they're winning the Super Bowl this year. I think they're the best team in the NFL if they had a quarterback. They don't. They have Brock Purdy, who's shown he's a capable person. And if he plays the system like early Tom Brady in the Patriots system, they could 100% win this game. Play good defense, run the ball, don't make the big mistake. I don't trust him enough not to do that. So it's going to be exciting regardless. I'm excited for these playoffs. It's going to be good. It's going to be high scoring. There's going to be a lot of drama.
Yep. A lot of
It's going to
upsets.
be,
I think there'll
yep,
be a lot of upsets this year in the NFC
yep,
especially. Well, I mean,
yep.
technically the Jags over the Chargers isn't an upset, but like in our minds, it's an
I don't know
upset.
who's the betting. I don't know who the betting favorite is in that game right now. I
I
think
don't
it's
know
the
either.
Chargers. I think the Chargers are the
I can
betting
check
favorite.
FanDuel later, but I don't know either.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our playoff predictions of the
Yep.
2023 NFL playoffs. I think yeah, those are good picks for both of us. Um,
Yeah.
Week 18's Aaron's final top 10, bottom 5 of the NFL season. Who's
Yes.
let's go off your top 10.
Go through my top 10. All right. This was hard. I debated on doing like the top 10 teams overall this regular season. But I think that's a different one we'll do later in the on a show is the top 10 teams overall in the regular season. We'll just do top 10 power rankings finishing week 18. Who was the best top 10 teams in the NFL? Some teams made this list that are not in the playoffs. That's just how I still think some of these teams are better than some of the teams that made it to the playoffs. So keeping that in mind, here we go. At number 10, you made the playoffs. You're a big question mark, though. You just got whooped by not the Redskins, the Commanders. Um, it's the Cowboys. They are the biggest question mark, I think, in the playoffs. They could win the Super Bowl, or they could just be one and done. If Dak catches fire, McCarthy somehow learns how to coach overnight, they could be a really good team. They have a good roster, but they're not it this year for me. I have them at 10. You're a top 10 team that's going into the playoffs. I think you're a top 10 team. I don't think you're bad. I don't think you're great. You're 10. All right, moving on to the Minnesota Vikings at 9. I think very similar to the Cowboys, you're not winning a Super Bowl. It's just that's where it's at. You're not. I don't care. Barring Justin Jefferson, like that is the one reason you can make a Super Bowl. And you cannot have a wide receiver be the reason why you're making or winning a Super Bowl. That's just not a good. Maybe you're running back, but really it's going to be a quarterback or a defense that's going to win you a Super Bowl. That's not what they have right now. They have an aging defense and a questionable quarterback. So I have the Vikings at number 9. Any comments there at our
Nope.
first two?
Nope.
All right. Moving on, we got number 8. We got the Chargers. The Chargers looked pedestrian against the Broncos, to say the least. They played a good game, but now they're injured going into the playoffs. I don't think it was the smart decision. You had your playoff seeding like guaranteed, regardless of kind of what happened. So like, I don't get why you wanted to start all your starters. You definitely shouldn't have started Justin Herbert. He needed to rest. Like that's definitely like he's your golden ticket. But whatever, you guys still started him. You can't go back on it now. But I think you're the 8th best team. You're definitely better than the Vikings, and you're definitely better than the Cowboys. So, going to that number 7 spot, I have the Jags. I think the Chargers are the better roster, and I think the Cowboys and Vikings have the better roster than the Jags. But right now, I think the Jags would beat the pants off the Chargers, Vikings, and Cowboys.
Yep.
And so that's where, when you go power rankings, it's not necessarily the best teams. It's who's hot and who's doing really good and who's winning with the roster that they have. And that's right now with the Jags. Doug Peterson's proven that he is a good coach in the NFL, that he should have not been fired to get and with the Eagles situation. He is a good coach. I knew that. I don't know why the Eagles ever questioned it, or any other team ever questioned it, but yeah, it's the Chargers and Jags. I think the Jags are better than the Chargers in the spot. Any comments on those last two?
No.
All
So
right,
far, so
we
good.
agree on those two too. All right, moving on. We got the Lions at number 6. The Lions would beat the pants off of any of those teams right now, and they should be a playoff team. And I'm
Yep.
so upset. Screw you, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
They made, who is definitely not a franchise quarterback. I don't care what his stats say. They made Jared Goff look like a franchise quarterback this year.
I mean, his last 7 games, he had 15
He was
touchdowns, no
amazing.
interceptions.
He was amazing. Like, there's just no denying it. But I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think you draft a quarterback this year, though, either, if you're the Lions.
No.
But my heart breaks for Lions fans. They should be in that playoff game. They beat the socks off the Packers. They made it proven. I think they're the best team in the NFC North. I think they're better than the Vikings. I think they're better. They proved that they were better than the Packers. They're definitely better than the Bears. So I think they're the best. I think they should be favored to win the NFC North next year. I think the Vikings regress. I don't think the Packers know what they're doing. I think as crazy it is to say,
let me
coming out of
see.
my mouth, I think the Lions should be favored to win the NFC North next year.
I wonder if you can put money anytime soon on like
After
future.
I don't know.
Because
I know
I
after
agree
the
with
Super
you.
Bowl weekend.
I agree with you. I would 100%
I think the
put money on
Lions.
the Lions.
They're having conversations in Green Bay today with Aaron Rodgers. What are those conversations? Are you committed? Are you retiring?
Because they gotta know. They've got to know.
They got to know. And so,
By
even
the
if
way,
Aaron Rodgers comes back,
Jags are not betting favorites.
yeah, I might take the Jags.
I'm putting
And
$10 on the
making
Jags.
a parlay.
Jags,
The
Giants,
Bucks
aren't.
Bucks aren't either.
Bucks. Oh my gosh! Hold on, let me see what a parlay looks like real quick.
That's an amazing
Keep
parlay
talking.
right
Keep
there.
talking.
I might do a parlay.
Keep talking. You're good.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Lions brokenhearted. This is the last list they'll be on until later on when we do other regular season lists.
Yeah.
But number 5, we got the Eagles. They are the biggest question to me in the playoffs. I think they could win the Super Bowl, barring like Jalen Hurts is healthy, or if Jalen Hurts if Jalen Hurts is healthy, then they can win. If he's not, this team is not good enough to win a Super Bowl. They need their quarterback. They need him at 100%.
Which is ironic because people were talking if he's the reason they're winning. Before he got injured, they were saying, "Well, could they have any quarterback?"
Well, is he? And he 100% was.
Yep.
They're like, "Oh, he's a system quarterback." No, you got you, and they're like, "Well, now there's people coming out and being like, well, who's their backup?"
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. Thank you. They're like, "Well, Gardner Minshew. No, he won with the Jags. Like he won with the Jags. That was one of the worst teams in the NFL at that time. He won with the Jags. He's 100% a good backup. You need Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So, but any team that's 100% dependent on a quarterback, I don't have you high on my list because if he's sacked 10 times in a game or if he's like something crazy happens, you're not going to win. And so I think the next 4 teams are going to be better. Any comments on the top five there, Nick?
No.
All right, moving on. Number four, we got the Bills. The Bills were number one last week. They dropped down to number four this week.
Oof.
They almost got beat by the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's not healthy. I
Without
think his
two amazing kick returns, they lose that game. So
yeah, I don't think Josh Allen's healthy. I don't I think his elbow is bothering him, and a unhealthy Josh Allen is spells trouble for the Bills. Um, I think they'll still make that divisional round. I think they'll be competitive. I think it'll be a blowout against the our Bengals, but I don't think that he's going to be able to. He would have to be 100% healthy, Josh Allen, to win those games, and I don't think he is.
yeah.
And so, moving on right now in my week 18, even though I have them winning the Super Bowl, I have the Chiefs at number 3. Just barring what's happened currently, I could not put them above the 49ers or any of the other teams that we have coming up on this list just because they haven't proven that they're going to beat some of these teams. So I have the Chiefs 3, 49ers are at number 2. I think they're my NFC pick. I think they should win the Super Bowl, honestly. But Brock Purdy is my big question mark. I think they're the most talented team in the NFL, but they have a huge question mark at quarterback. So my number one team in the league after week 18 is the Bengals. They're coming in healthy. There's not really a position that I'm like, they're super weak at this position. Especially offensively. Their offensive line's good enough. Their running back's really good. Their wide receivers are amazing. Quarterback's amazing. That spells success. Nick has them as one of his Super Bowl picks. And I very much they're probably my number. It would probably be Chiefs my number one choice for the Super Bowl, Bengals number 2, 49ers 3. I think the Bengals still beat the 49ers in that game. So yeah, that's my top 10. Nick, any thoughts?
No, I mean, like, again, top 10's where I've never really have any problems. It's always the bottom 5 because there's a
Five,
team.
five is, but
There's
it's
a
still
team right now
yeah.
who has the number 1 overall draft pick, and if they're not in the bottom 5, then the entire bottom 5 is useless. They have the number 1 overall draft pick, and if the team who has the number 2 overall draft pick is in the top 5, I will riot. Because these are based off this week, right? Not the entire season.
Based off this week.
Exactly.
It's based off of this. Well,
Exactly.
leading up to this, like I did take into account, like barring the season, like I mean, some teams aren't just gonna win because one week was crazy.
So it sounds like the
that's
Texans should not be in the bottom 5 because they had an amazing game.
Yeah.
They beat the Colts.
No, but but that's why you take the whole season into account and realize that they are the number 2 pick now for a reason. They're not that good of a team.
What's your bottom 5? Let's hear it.
All right, bottom 5. At number 5, I have the Bears.
No, not too high. Too high.
I have them at 5, and here's my reason. We have a top 7 rusher at quarterback.
Chicago Bears schedule.
Amazing.
How many in a row have you guys lost? I want the exact number.
10. We've lost 10 in a row.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
We've
11, 12, 13.
Oh, wow.
You've lost 13 of the last 14 games.
Love it. I love it.
And they're at 5? I hate this.
They're at 5. I beg you to tell me any of these 4 teams are better than them.
Yeah, 100%. I will.
I beg you.
Bears at 5. Okay, what's
number 4? Number 4, we have the Broncos. They won this week. They were number 1 last week.
Unfair.
They're number 4 this week.
Unfair. You keep going. I agree with you. The Broncos are the worst team in the
Broncos
league.
were
Unfair.
all year. Number 3, we have the Colts. They have no one.
Unfair. Again, we all agree they're the worst team in the league.
They just fired Jeff Saturday. They have
no. He's in the running for their official head coach. Haven't you heard?
Bull crap he is.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2, the Texans. Texans are not better than the Bears.
They've won more games.
It doesn't matter. They're a worse team.
We've already been over this. No, they're not. We've already been over this. Keep going. Who's number 1? If you say the Rams, I swear to God.
No, it's not the Rams.
Okay.
I wish it was the Rams.
Okay.
It's the Cardinals. They had a GM just retire who was about to be arrested, maybe.
So I want to hear your logic on this real quick. I want to hear your logic.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals, who have a franchise quarterback,
questionable.
A franchise wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins,
Who's about to be traded?
better than any Bears receiver. A better O-line.
No, right now,
They
yeah.
don't
100%.
have Sam Mustipher, who, dear God, I hope he never plays in the NFL again. He's the worst center I've ever seen play football.
Mm-hmm.
They had J.J. Watt, Isaiah Simmons, Buda Baker, Byron Murphy, Zaven Collins. They have a better defense than you. How are they lower than you guys? I don't understand.
I believe so. Barring this season, the Bears play competitively the last few weeks against a lot of really good teams. You look at what.
Oh yeah, 39-13 is real competitive.
It wasn't 39-13. It was 28-13. I'm pretty sure.
The Vikings game that just happened.
Yeah. Let's look.
29-13. Sorry, 29-13. But you lost 41-10, 35-13.
Okay. Against the Lions team, who we agree is one of the best teams in the NFL.
I hate how biased you are. I try to be as unbiased as I can.
I love the Bears. I love their future. I refuse to put them higher because I truly believe these 4 teams are worse than them. They just fired their coach. The Bears still have their coach. The 4 teams that are above them fired their coach. I'm pretty sure these are the only 4 teams that have fired their coach. Well, the Colts haven't, like you said, they haven't fired him, but he's not going to be their coach next year. I'm sorry. If he is, Colts fans need to riot. That's just a horrible pick if he's the next head coach. And I like Jeff Saturday as a person, but he's not. He'd be a good coordinator. He's not a head coach yet. But I think the Cardinals are the worst team. They just had a GM. I think just based off I can't even say the word. Bad reputation. They had a GM that's maybe about to be re-arrested that was just retired, or resigned. Their head coach just got fired. Their quarterback is a big question mark. Some people think he's a franchise quarterback. Some people think he's a complete bust. They're about to lose their number 1 wide receiver. Their defense is a complete question. They lost their defensive leader. I think they're the worst team in the NFL. Barring record and everything else, when they were winning because they had all those, they completely squandered who was coming in out of last year, a top 5 quarterback, number 1 wide receiver, great defense, who looked like an up-and-coming coach. They completely squandered it all. Similar to how we had the Broncos up high this year because of expectations, the Cardinals had just as similar, if not more, expectations from a lot of fans, and they completely squashed it. They were horrible. So, and any of those other teams besides the Texans, you agreed with me that the Bears are better than.
Whatever.
So don't say I'm biased because barring the Texans, I would put the Texans at 5 fine. I really don't care enough. And those other teams slide up and the Bears are at 4.
I'm fine with
you
that.
Really want to be that petty?
Yes, 100% I do. I just seem to remember who has the number 1 overall draft pick, so.
Huh?
I seem to forget who has number 1 overall.
I think we 100% tanked, though. I hope that doesn't come out. I think we 100% tanked. You don't lose 13 games in a row.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
When you're the Bears.
That does not happen.
When you're the Bears, you lose it, so. Got him.
Fine. At least we don't have a pedophile at quarterback.
I'm with you there. Don't worry. I don't want him. You can have him. I'll trade. Give me Chase Claypool for him, dude. You know how much I hate Chase Claypool. Give me Chase Claypool for Deshaun Watson. I don't care. I don't want him either. But
it was the worst decision your franchise has ever made.
No, we've had a couple bad ones. We employed Hugh Jackson after going 0-16.
That's true. That's true. I can't.
And
say
after
that
one and 15.
Any other team, that's the worst decision. But the Browns have had some real stinkers. I'll give you that.
Did the Lions? Who was the coach for the Lions when they went 0-16? Who was the coach?
He was out of there.
That's what I wonder when he was fired. I want to know. Marinelli.
Yep.
Marinelli.
Who wasn't a bad coach, actually. Funny enough.
Lions coach fired. I want to know, was he fired immediately or was it a year after?
No, he was fired immediately.
It was immediately. Darn it! God! Yep. That's us.
Yep.
That's us. Whatever. Moving on. Aaron's final top 10, bottom 5 of the regular season. Next topic, we'll be talking about coaches fired on Black Monday. Because there's a lot of coaches, as we said earlier. The coaching, you don't really fire coaches anymore now. after Black Monday because you want to immediately get
No,
started hiring people. Only
especially with
playoff.
college coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, only the playoff coaches is where you would be surprised. Like if Mike
Mm-hmm.
McCarthy got fired, that's really the
Yeah.
only person that'll get fired in the playoffs. Or
Todd Bowles, I could
Todd
see
Bowles,
being
yeah,
on the hot seat.
I'll say
I could
Todd
see
Bowles as
Todd
well.
Bowles,
But I mean, technically, he
but
did
I
make the
don't think they do.
playoffs. Yeah, he did make the
Yeah.
playoffs at 9-8. So, but number one overall,
Man,
number one overall, the biggest guy, Cliff Kingsbury. They just signed him to a 4-year extension, and then they fire him the next year.
yeah,
11 months after signing him to an extension, he's fired.
which is just confusing to me.
Yeah, very interesting.
I didn't agree with the signing when they signed him.
No, God, no. God, no.
But when you do sign him, why are you firing him? That just spells like chaos to all the NFL. You're not going to land a top guy. Sean Payton's not going there. John Harbaugh is not going, or Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is not going there. None of the top candidates in the NFL this year are going to the Cardinals. It's a complete laughing stock. Who wants to go there? Like
Well,
no
I
one.
think the
So,
Texans are more of a laughing stock actually, because like they fired the
I think
last 3 years in a
their
row.
ownership, I think, is more. I think the Texans, but I think there's more upside to the Texans than there is the Cardinals, barring quarterback.
Well,
Because
yeah,
the Texans are about to take a quarterback,
yeah,
so they're gonna have their guy.
and they have a lot of
So
money. They have a lot of draft picks. Because you
yep,
still have another
I think the
first
Texans
next
have more
year. They still have one more first from the Browns next year. So
upside.
yeah,
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury needed to be fired. He was the reason Kyler Murray
Mhm.
wasn't doing good. Just straight up, his scheme wasn't working. He was just bad at his job. So I'm all for
Yeah.
him being fired.
Yeah,
Sadly, Lovie Smith was also fired from the Houston
he was.
Texans. I think he was only fired because they won that last game. I think they would have given him one more year if they.
I think honestly, I think what happened because the Texans, I think the Texans management told him don't win this game.
Yep.
I think that's what happened. I think the ownership came down because it's been proven. You can't tell me that that doesn't happen in the NFL. It's come out. Miami's done it. 100% the Bears done it. I don't care what anyone says. They forfeited
The
games
NFL
this
does it.
year.
Yeah, they do it. The NFL
Yeah,
does it.
100%. So I think they told Lovey lose this game, and Lovey gave him the middle finger and is like, "I'm gonna win. Watch it out. I'm gonna win this football game. I'm gonna take a quarterback that doesn't deserve really to be in the spot that he's in, and we're gonna run back and have a comeback drive against the bad Colts." And they won. It's amazing. I love it, especially as a Bears fan. The former Bears coach gives the Bears the first overall pick. What a storyline! Like that's just an amazing storyline. I love Lovey Smith. I think he deserved another year, but if I get why they did it because now they what they have to do is go get a offensive guru from college, offensive staff, go find the next John McVay, find the next whoever, and offer them $200 million. Give them whatever they want to come to the Texans because, like we just said, the Texans are kind of a laughing stock right now. But hey, if you have money, just throw money at a coach and be like, "We understand you shouldn't come here, but here's a lot of money."
Yeah.
And you'll be able to convince someone.
Sorry, one second.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
I love Lovie Smith. I hope he
I
gets another NFL job.
he'll be defensive coordinator next year. He will.
Yeah. It depends on what he wants to do now. Like, does he want to retire? Like,
Yeah, 'cause
he's
he
not
doesn't have to.
like he's not an anchor personality. Like he loves coaching.
He doesn't have to come back.
Yeah, no, he could be done. He could have been like, I'm good. I think he will come back though. I don't think he wants to be done, but
He'll be a defensive coordinator next year. Don't worry.
yeah.
He will. Um,
I'm pulling up his stats now. You can move on to the next guy though.
yeah, the next guy, Nathaniel Hackett. We're not going to talk about. He was already fired earlier in the season. Same with Frank Reich, also fired earlier in the season. Matt Rule was also fired earlier in the season. Joe Woods, defensive coordinator for the Browns. Thank God he was fired, dude. He's the reason we missed the playoffs this year. Straight up. He's the reason we missed the playoffs. I have no problem saying that.
I agree with that.
Sorry, I just randomly got charged on my card. I'm just.
That's random.
What the? There's so many codes. All right, good. Yeah, but I mean, we had enough wins. We had enough skill on offense to win games. The Jets game should have been fired the next day. The Falcons game should have been fired the next day. the Ravens game. Should
I
have been
don't.
fired the
I
next
agree
day.
with them taking out because you show the next offensive coordinator, hey, we're not willy nilly with our coaches. We keep guys until they shown that they can no longer stay here. I think NFL. I don't agree that NFL coaches should ever be fired unless it's a toxic locker room. At that point, they should be fired. But if he's not a toxic person, I don't agree with firing coaches in the season. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I just don't like I don't like the idea of when we let up historic losses, just
Yeah.
keeping a defensive coordinator. I don't care
Mhm.
that there isn't anyone on the field. Like I mean, like in free
Yeah.
agency, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just straight up, I don't care. Joe Woods should have been fired. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't. I'm happy he is now. I hope he doesn't get a job anywhere else because I hope no one else has to suffer through him. I have
Yeah.
extreme hate for him, so I have no problem saying that. But
Yeah.
if I was any team, I would not have him as my defensive coordinator. So
No. I got Lovie Smith's stats here. I think it's fun to go through.
yeah, what's
'Cause
his
a lot of people
stats?
like, is he? I think if he wins that Super Bowl against the Colts, he's Hall of Fame. And he lost that, so I don't think he is anymore. But I'll read off his stats here. He had 81 wins to 63 losses with the Bears. It's good stats with the Bears. He had 144 games, 10 plus 9 years with the Bears. He had 3 playoff wins, 3 playoff losses. Most notably that playoff loss against the Indianapolis Colts that gave Peyton Manning his first Super Bowl. Then he had 2 years with the Tampa Bay. He went 8-24 on a bad Tampa team. He was given a bad Tampa team. That was not his fault. Um, and then he was 3-13 with the Texans. So he's 12 years in the league. Um, with all of his years, he's 92 and 100. I really hope one more team gives him a chance and he wins 8 more games, because then he'd be over 100 wins.
Yeah, there's not many
But
coaches
he
that can
won't.
actually save in over 100 wins. So
There's not that many. I think he was a very B+ head coach. I think he's a good guy. I'm really sad that the Texans fired him. I get it, but I really wanted to see him in another year. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
yeah, it happens. Not much you can say really.
No.
Next one is offensive coordinator Todd Downing from the Titans. I think he's really the main reason that that Titans team has been struggling on offense. I mean, like all he knows really is to run the ball.
Yeah.
Their schemes are not complex at all. Same with the Washington
No.
Commanders. They fired Scott Turner, exact same reason, but they can't do anything on
Yeah.
offense. Just a lot of coordinators are just
You have too
shitty
much talent
coordinators.
on offense to not, like, Ryan. What's his name? Tannehill is too talented of a quarterback to not have better stats and better offensive stats. He's not your franchise quarterback. I've said this for many years, but the fact that you couldn't make the playoffs with Derrick Henry, who is the best running back of the last 5 years, and a top 10, top 15 quarterback, it's very sad. You shouldn't have your job anymore if you're an offensive coordinator at that point.
Yeah, struggling like that isn't acceptable. And also, it does save Mike Vrabel and Ron Rivera because they just blame them. It's a smart move on them. Like, hey, I fired the offensive coordinator that for the last 2 years, 3 years, we haven't made the playoffs.
Yep.
That's all I gotta do. I don't want to talk about too many coordinators. A lot of them just they get fired because they're saving the head coach's job. Like there are rumors that Ron Rivera was gonna get fired. He won the last game and he fired the offensive coordinator. He said blame him why the offense wasn't working.
If I had to pick a person to be fired next year, mid-season, it would be Ron Rivera.
Yeah, or I'm gonna say it, Mike Vrabel.
I
I
don't
think if
think
they
Tennessee will do that because I think Tennessee has good ownership.
if they go one
I
and
don't think
eight,
teams with good ownership, if they go 1-8, I still think they write it out because they like Mike Vrabel. They want Mike Vrabel to be an NFL coach.
yeah,
They're gonna have to be proven. They're gonna think that if he goes 1-8, they're gonna still go 9-8 because they love Mike Vrabel. But I think Ron Rivera could be out very early next year.
I think at the end of the season he could. I don't think either one of them would fire anyone mid-season. I think they would both
Yeah.
would be at the end of the season.
Yeah, but the Washington Commanders are just complete dumpster fire management right now.
Yeah.
So I don't put anything past them.
That's true. Yeah, that's really all the coaches I want to talk about.
Yep.
Nothing too special. But the next topic is one that I'm very interested in. DeAndre Hopkins has officially. Well, let's merge this with one of the other topics. Trade targets for the 2023 offseason. Number one is DeAndre Hopkins. He is the most prominent trade target, and DeAndre
Yeah,
Hopkins is making
they come out
19.
now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
it's officially announced.
Mhm.
19 million year one, 13 million year two. So it's about
That's
17
not
million.
bad.
Yeah, about 17 million a year.
Mhm. Yeah,
He's not a first round. He's not a first round trade pick either. Like he
no.
won't. He won't
You could also restructure that deal to be like like whatever it would be per year. Like, hey, we'll give you the same contract, but let's take a little bit of the off the top of this year.
well, and none of it's guaranteed. So you can say, hey, we'll give
Oh,
you.
it's not.
It's
Oh,
none of it. So we could be like, hey, we'll give you a three. We'll redo the deal. It's completely erase your deal because there's no guaranteed money left.
yeah.
Give you a 3 year, $55 million deal with 35, 40 million of it guaranteed. So the first 2 years you get 20 million a year guaranteed. But that last
Yeah.
year is where we can then move on mutually. But you get
Mhm.
2 years guaranteed with us. That's
Yeah.
what I would do. And the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, are the number one trade target. Number one. No one else should even be in the discussion, to be honest with you. Former quarterback that made you an All Pro Hall of Famer,
Mhm.
guy you love that like is your
Yeah.
that was your brother, like that,
Uh,
and they,
I don't know if he's gonna come out and say that too much right now,
well, I mean,
but yeah.
I mean, when Deshaun Watson had his first game back, there's a bunch of people on Twitter, and DeAndre Hopkins was
Yeah.
one of those guys on Twitter saying "Welcome back." Like
Yeah.
the NFL, I think the NFL world, they don't care. Is that a good thing? No, but they don't care. They only care about on-field
I don't. I
production.
think they care, but I think it's to the point now that it's like, okay, let's just focus on football.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. And I think that's how we should all focus on it now. It's over.
yeah.
It's over and done with.
Well,
But DeAndre Hopkins would. I mean, the Browns need another wide receiver. We
they do.
have all we have to do is restructure Deshaun Watson's deal.
Mhm.
I went on over the cap, and I actually did a whole TikTok about this. If we restructure Deshaun Watson, it's $35 million of of cap space this year, and it opens up 15 million next year. And if we cut John Johnson the third, that's another 10 million we save this year. So we could
Mhm.
open up $45 million in cap space just by
Which
two
I think
moves.
Deshaun for that one player would restructure.
Oh, 100% no. He's getting restructured no matter
Yep.
what. No matter what, I
Yep.
think everyone knows he's getting restructured. And John Johnson's got to go. He's got to go.
Mhm.
He's got to go. Um,
Yep.
but I do really like the idea, obviously, of DeAndre Hopkins and Amari Cooper for 2 years. Because I believe Amari Cooper's deal is also 2 years remaining. When he
Yeah,
was,
and Nick Chubb still
and Nick
in
Chubb's
that
also is
backfield.
on 2 years. Yeah, so like we
That's
have
the
a.
top. Yeah, that's the top NFL. You get a good offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah, because we're firing Alex Van Pelt. He's gone. He's got to be
Yeah.
gone soon. Like if he does stay, even then, the Browns have been openly saying that they want to change the offense to more of an air raid offense. Cliff
Which they
Kingsbury,
could.
Cliff Kingsbury is on the
Yeah.
market. I wouldn't mind having him as an offensive coordinator or
No, I think
as
I
your
think
passing
he
game
I think he
coordinator.
made a mistake. I think he should have taken off if he was leaving the college to go to the NFL. First of all, he probably shouldn't have left college.
No,
He was up and coming in college. But if he was going, I think he should have taken an offensive coordinator route and then learned because he had no experience.
yeah,
So learned and then took on a head coaching job. I don't think he's a washed up coach. I think he could still have a comeback, but he needs to go to the back to the roots of how you become a head coach. You know, offense coordinator, then eventually he might get another job.
yeah.
But
Even if he's just a passing game assistant, like just
yeah,
I think he's gonna get. The thing is with
he'll get offered.
trades, DeAndre Hopkins is also rumored to go to the
Yeah.
Patriots, and the Patriots have an
Hmm.
offensive coordinator position available, and they want
Yeah.
to change their offense as well. So
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury is going to be in the league next year, no matter what. But I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, to me, it makes the most sense to go to the Browns. Restructure the deal, make it 2 years
Hmm.
fully guaranteed, the third year not guaranteed, 20
Yeah.
million a year. Help Deshaun Watson win a Super Bowl. Like we have a 2 to 3 year window in Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
Because Miles Garrett is 27, Nick Chubb is 27, David Njoku is 26, Amari Cooper is 28.
I think you
Like we're
have a
in a window.
guaranteed 3 year, guaranteed 3 5 year window.
Yeah.
Guaranteed three, give you five.
The back, the
Depending
back,
on
the
the
back
coaching,
half
nothing.
is where I'm scared though. I think our true window is the next 2 to 3 years. But
Yeah.
I think we can easily because we have Deshaun Watson for 5 years, but he said he wants to stay in Cleveland for the rest of his career. Is that true?
Yeah,
Who knows? But
I don't know. He's gonna have to play good boy for
oh
the
yeah,
next 5. Yeah,
no,
like he's gonna have to be the altar boy of the NFL for the next
he
five
needs
years
to
for him
leave.
to
He
even
needs to
be
leave social
considered.
media. He needs to leave social
Yeah,
media.
it
Just don't let that
just be
impact your
done.
brain.
No more massages. You get nothing.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna get another massage. No, I don't think. I think his name's
No,
ruined.
I'm saying like nothing.
I think every masseuse in the
You
world
you get
when they hear
nothing.
Deshaun Watson, they go, "Oh God!" It just, but I'm all for DeAndre Hopkins to the Browns, but the Patriots. There was a video that leaked of him and Bill Belichick just
Mm,
sucking each other off. Like, dude, it was on the field. This is them going hard on each other.
yep.
But yeah, what do you think about DeAndre Hopkins? Where do you think would be the ideal spot for him?
I I I I don't want to boost your ego, but
I do.
I
It's
really do I like him to the Browns. I think having two number one wide receivers change up that. I think I'll throw out two other teams that need a wide receiver. One would be the Patriots, which you already mentioned. Um, I think Mac Jones is your quarterback. I don't think you can go for another quarterback right now, unless Tom Brady comes back, which has been rumored. And that's how one way you could be like, "Hey Tom, we got a number one wide receiver, come home." But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Mac Jones is your guy. Um, so getting him a number one, and then another team that's been rumored to get Devonte Adams in the offseason. I think Bears would actually be a good landing spot for him too.
he's Super Bowl ring chasing, man. He's
He
ring
is,
chasing.
but how old is he?
20, 31, 31, 31.
Oh, he's
He's
31. Yeah,
he's
I
31.
don't know if the Bears are.
And he again
I don't
he
think they're going to be in enough window to do that.
no, and I think
I thought
he
he
would
was
want to
younger. I
go.
thought he was like 28, 29.
No, he's
But yeah, no, if
31.
he's that old, then yeah, I mean, put in Chiefs. I think Chiefs would be a good landing spot.
Oh yeah, obviously Chiefs, yeah.
I think Chiefs. I think you're number three there. I think Bears, if you're willing to do a rebuild, um, but you're for your win now teams. I think the Patriots still are a playoff team. I think the Chiefs are still a playoff team, obviously, and the Browns. I think it should be your number one to go back to your quarterback that gave you all those yards and kind of helped you become who you are as a
Exactly.
wide receiver.
And also Deshaun Watson, that's part of the reason why he requested a trade. We gotta remember that when they traded DeAndre Hopkins, like a month later he requested a trade. Because he's like,
Yep.
really? You trade away my best friend and you
Yeah.
traded away
Well,
like
it's
all
not
this
even.
bull
Yeah,
crap?
it's just you're trading my meal ticket. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like you're trading. Like who
Well,
am I going to catch from now?
actually, no, because because in 2020 he was on the Cardinals and he was on the
Mhm.
Texans, so there was 1 year difference between the trade. But apparently he was not
Yeah.
happy, and they got Brandon Cooks to
No,
replace
well
him.
they benched him. They benched like it was. That's the. It's still the reason why, because it was known that the Texans were going to trade Deshaun.
Well, that was in
Like it was
2021.
no. Yeah.
2020 he was without DeAndre Hopkins, had Brandon
Mhm.
Cooks, and then had
Yeah.
his really good season. Then requested
Yeah.
a trade because he said you guys want to do a rebuild. You traded my friends. You guys let JJ walk. It was a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole like paragraph of reasons.
Yeah.
But still, DeAndre Hopkins has had his best seasons with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So
He did.
I would personally as the Browns, I would be calling him right now. I wouldn't let any other team have a
I'm sure
discussion.
there's talk. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's talk right now.
And Andrew Barry has been very aggressive, which I love. I love an aggressive
Mhm.
GM. He's been very aggressive. Deion
Yeah.
Jones, the trade for the Falcons this year.
Yep.
Amari Cooper last year. Deshaun Watson
Mhm.
last year. Like, we are,
Dax looked pedestrian without Amari.
yeah, the 5th-round pick for Amari
Mhm.
Cooper, who had his best career year with us. Like,
Yep.
dude, I am. This is the trade that I think Andrew Barry puts his flag in. I'm the best GM in the league.
Yep.
If I can get Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Deion Jones, and DeAndre
Yep.
Hopkins in one calendar year, wow.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I truly think it'll be.
He did.
I think the Browns. I think it's the Browns. I really do. And
Yeah.
if Deshaun would have went to Atlanta or the Saints, I'd say the exact same thing. It's wherever Deshaun
Yeah.
is.
I think. Yeah, I think Deshaun should be your number one just because they want to team up again. Similar to how any like Devontae went to go team up with
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. That's why Devontae, I think segueing into our next person that's kind of on the trade block, because Derek Carr is not coming back to the Raiders. That's almost guaranteed. They benched him. He's not gonna want to come back after that. Especially if they
Bro,
keep their coach, which it looks like they are.
I don't know why my camera's being
So
dumb.
um yeah, so where does Derek Carr go? I think is the number one landing spot for Devontae. But Devontae's going to want out because the only reason he came to the Raiders was to play with Carr.
Yeah.
So they could play hardball and be like, "Hey, we're not gonna let you leave," um, but then he can just hold out, and then you're just paying someone like 15, 17 mil to sit on a bench. Like that's not going to make any sense. Go get some first round draft picks. Go get some because he's still one of the number one wide receivers
Well,
in the league.
he had the most
The number
touchdowns in the
one.
league this year at 15, I think.
Yeah, he's still one of the best in the league. I think landing spots for him right now, barring like Derek Carr going to someone, I think number one, Aaron Rodgers comes back. I think he could go back to Green Bay.
Well, to
I
trade
think
the first round picks back at him, like I don't think that's
yeah,
happening. I don't think that would be the spot.
I could see him. I'm saying where would Devontae Adam would want to
Oh, I
go.
want to go, yeah.
I'm not saying most likely. I'll say who most likely. I don't know who the most likely would be. Like maybe Chiefs.
He's
Like
making
Chiefs
so
would
much
sell
money,
a
dude.
lot.
He's making so much money.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
thing.
just, well, yeah, you'd have to restructure the deal. I think no matter where he goes, he's restructuring. Like he's not going to be traded to a team unless money's all he cares about.
I mean, it should be all he cares about right now. He's the best. He's one of the best receivers in the league. Why? It's make your money, man.
Make your money to a point, but don't you want rings?
Well, it's too late. He's already made the deal. Like when he gets traded, they have to inherit that massive deal.
They inherit, but that you can always restructure though.
But then it just kicks the bucket.
No, that's the thing that a lot of people don't get. No contract's 100% guaranteed unless it's in the contract that it's 100% guaranteed.
I'm saying,
and even then, the player can be like, "Yeah, we can restructure."
But it just kicks the bucket down the road. Yeah. Like you will eventually have to pay that money no matter what. That money will get paid. It's just do you want to pay 30 this year or 80 million 2 years from now? Like no matter what, it will happen.
Well, he's got a 5-year contract, so you can stretch that out for a while. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I think he'll be traded. The big question mark. The Bears have, and this is why I think the Bears have the number one cap coming into this offseason. They have the draft capital. They have a good upcoming team. That's why I think if any team's going to get Devontae,
the Giants,
barring where Derek Carr goes, I think it should be Chicago.
It's gonna be the Giants, man.
It could be the Giants, but
they have 60 million in cap.
They're gonna sign. They're gonna re-sign Saquon. He's a New York Jet. They're probably gonna re-sign Daniel Jones. Then they're gonna be cap strapped at that point. But like giving your point, what team can go in and go get him and have the cap and have the capital to go and trade and get him? Outside the Bears right now, I don't know of a team that's going to be real cap that could go and land and make an argument. Hey, we'd be really good if you joined our team.
Patriots. I think the Patriots are a good spot as well.
Does the Patriots have a lot of cap?
They have 50 million.
Who do they have to re-sign?
No one really. I'm thinking.
Okay. Well,
because they don't.
They could take
their running backs. They're going to let Damian Harris walk. Defense. They already have Matt Judon locked up. They have their secondary locked up. Linebackers locked up. They don't really have any big free agents. No.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones is still on his rookie deal for 3 years. So. But another wide receiver I think is a better option for cheaper. Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
That's who I would target if I was any team in the league. Is Brandon Cooks. He his last 2 years. He's had 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns, 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. This year, he got benched a lot. He had 593 and 2 touchdowns. So right now, he's his lowest he's ever had in the league. He's only 29, not making that much money.
I think he's too big of a question mark.
He's signed through 2025.
I think he could definitely be fool's gold.
I mean, he's had 1,000 yards every year of his career.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch him as a GM.
I would. I'll trade a third for him right now.
A third, maybe.
He's had a first round or a second round pick. He's not either of those. No. This is the lowest he's ever had. I think he's a third round pick. I'd trade a third for him.
Yeah.
Inherit his full contract. Hey, we'll send you a third and a future fifth to inherit.
I think he kind of wants to stay with the Texans, though.
No, he's already asked for a trade.
Oh, did he?
He asked for a trade last year, got
Well, yeah,
denied.
but Barry, now that you're going to get a number one wide receiver or a number one quarterback, do you
But it's
still
still
want to be
he wants
traded?
to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He's done
Yeah.
with this. He's made so much money in his career because people keep trading and signing him because he's so good. Then he has 1,000 yards. Is always on.
Yeah.
Does he might have one ring? Does Brandon Cooks have?
So he'll probably go to the Chiefs then if he just wants to win a Super Bowl.
He has
Or the
0.
Bills.
He lost when he was on the Rams. He lost in the Super Bowl. When he was on the Patriots, he lost in the Super Bowl. Then when he was on the
That's
Saints,
bad.
when he was on the Saints, it was part of that year where it was the pass interference. That was no
That's
call.
bad.
Then
Man, I won't touch him now because he's bad juju.
nah, bro. I want Brandon Cooks right now. I'll trade a third for him today. What
That's a
about
lot of bad luck
I don't
right
care,
there,
man.
man.
I'm the last person I want to talk about because it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan.
hmm
Cameron Jordan. Would you trade for Cameron Jordan?
I don't like trading for veteran players. I'm from the mindset of build through the draft and develop. I don't like the idea of trading young players for older players unless it's like, hey, we need one spot, we need wide receiver, we need defense, we need whatever it is. We're already built. Like the Rams doing what they did. 100% agree with they should have done that. They were a few years away from winning a Super Bowl. Or one player away, like they proved it. So I personally wouldn't, but I could very much understand why a team would.
Well, because I mean, he's had the worst year of his career so far. But I mean,
Yep.
it's the Saints. You're gonna have the worst year of your
Yeah.
career. He's 33 years old, so it's not gonna be too much of a draft
Which
pick.
is really surprising because his defensive coordinator took over.
Well, Dennis Allen's not a good coach. That's the thing.
Which
How
I
much of that
don't
was Sean Payton?
understand.
How much of that was
How
Sean Payton?
which I mean, how many coaches? I mean, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. How many coaches have been under Bill Belichick that were complete washes?
Yeah.
But like when you spend so many years with one of the best NFL minds, like it's shocking to me that you cannot be good coach. Like you just must not have taken anything in
Yeah.
while you were under them. Like that's just sad.
Yeah, I would personally trade a 5th round, 4th round pick for Cam Jordan. He's 33, 2 years remaining on his deal. The Saints are in cap hell. Like I think that is the perfect
Yeah.
trade target for a team who's already a Super Bowl contender or on the verge of one,
Yeah.
needing a veteran pass rusher, kind of like Von Miller last year, 2/3, but it was way better than Cam Jordan was right now.
Yeah.
I would trade a 4th round pick for Cam Jordan. For the Browns
Yeah.
especially, hell yeah. Immediately I would
Yeah.
right now.
I would even do it for the Bears just because we have the draft capital for it
Yeah.
and
why not?
the cap space. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would boost
Have a
the
mentor.
defense right away, and have a veteran player on that defense, a veteran presence.
Yeah, let's say
But
you guys.
barring those two, it makes sense for those two teams. I'm saying a team that's like up and coming, like the Broncos, shouldn't do it. Like other teams that
Chiefs
it's
would
gonna
absolutely do it.
max out your cap, I would not do it, and that's just that's my opinion. But
Rams would do it in a heartbeat right now.
maybe I don't know because they don't know what they're doing. They don't even know if
Seahawks.
they have a coach.
I think he's more enticing than you're thinking. Because you gotta remember, we're in the hunt. He's trying to help us push us over the hunt to official. We can be in the Super Bowl this year. So teams that are like if the Bengals, I think
I'm
the Bengals
saying
absolutely take
what's
him.
his contract right now?
It's 2 years. I think 40 million remaining. So 20 mil over 2 years.
That's where I'm saying like that would take a big cap hit. So these teams that are Super Bowl, like the Rams, don't have cap space right now.
Well, you can like
The
you.
Chiefs do not have cap space right now. The Bills do not have cap space coming up. Like these teams that are Super Bowl window teams, they don't have cap
Ooh.
space.
Non-guaranteed though.
Huh?
Yeah, guaranteed signing, total guarantees. Where is the guarantee for 2023? It's a 13 mil base salary. Sorry, it's 13 million. Next year's 5 million. Next year's 5 million. So it's 18 million
So
remaining on this
13
deal.
this year, 5 million. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
So
He has
take
the thing is,
take that hit the first year.
so the thing is they restructured his contract last year to try and alleviate the deal. So he has a $25 million cap hit this year, but next year goes down to 10. So right now, so
He's
if you,
worth 25. He's definitely worth 25.
yeah, so like if you're a team like
But-
this, like the Bengals, they're in a 2-year window right now. Joe Burrow doesn't need to get paid right now. Jamar Chase doesn't need to get paid right now. T. Higgins doesn't need to get paid right now. Trade for Cam Jordan for a year or two with an understanding with him of like, hey, This is a 1 or 2 year deal. Try and get you a Super Bowl ring. Try and help us win a Super Bowl. Let's mutually, walk away after the year
Yeah.
or two.
Or you sign on a super team friendly deal
Super team friendly
to
deal.
retire
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely someone that I would be looking into if I was on the verge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Barring that,
that's
I mean, I don't know of many players that aren't free agents this year. Like Tom Brady's a free agent. Um, Saquon's a free agent. Like all these players that you're like, oh, I don't know if they're going to go back to their team are like free agents. This is going to be a fun free agency period.
for the most part. Yeah, I think it's be more of a fun trade market because you gotta
It will
remember
be. Their car's gone.
because Devonte Adams was a free agent last year, but it was a sign and trade, so they could make the
Yeah.
money work. So I think there'd be a lot of those where it's gonna be like, let's
Yeah.
just say Justin Fields is a free agent this year. It would be
Yeah.
I want Justin Fields, but I can't afford him in free agency. I'll trade you 3 first-round picks for him if you sign him and trade me. Kind of like the NBA. The NBA every year it's always sign and trade. It's never just a sign in. It isn't always a sign and trade.
Yeah.
But the last topic of the day, Bears got the first overall pick. Great news for the Chicago Bears fans. That's awesome. I'm happy for you
100%.
guys. If
Yep.
you're Ryan Pace, are you taking someone or are you trading that pick for whatever you can?
I'm 100% trading that pick. I don't think a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to get four first round or 4 like super big pick.
No.
It's not the draft for that. There's not a next generational player. I mean, there is. I mean, there is some really good players, but I don't think teams are going to be crazy. Like, hey, we have to go get this guy. But you could definitely get a first round this year. Get dropped down to like the 10th pick, 9th pick, and get a first rounder next year. And I think that should be your goal as the Bears. You could still get a really solid defensive tackle, defensive end, whatever. I think we should go wide receiver. For wide receiver, I think we should go for the free agency market. Get a proven guy. So I don't think we should necessarily do that for the draft. I think defenses should be our focus this year because we traded away all of our defensive players in the middle of the season. So yeah, no, I had 100% traded away. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
I would also trade the pick. I would not sit there because here's what
We
you're
don't need a
thinking.
quarterback.
No, here's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Texans are at 2. Colts need a quarterback. Raiders need a quarterback.
Yeah.
All these teams need
Yeah.
a quarterback. So all these teams know if you want Bryce Young, you gotta trade up because the Texans
Yeah,
are
you guys
sitting there.
the Bears.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
we're the Bears, we take Will Anderson Jr., Jalen Carter, and they take
Yeah.
Bryce Young, or you trade up, take Bryce Young, they take C.J. Stroud. I think
Yeah.
the Colts have already come out and said they will do whatever it takes to get a star quarterback. That's what they said. Chris Ballard.
100%.
They had the 4th overall pick. If they trade the 4th, a future first, and a future second, I think the Bears take it immediately. That's 2 first-round picks.
I think 2 first and a mid round, you got a deal.
Yeah, and you still
Maybe
you
like
still
a 80 overall wide receiver instead of that 3rd round pick, mid round pick. You got a deal.
Yeah, and you still get a top 4 pick. So let's say it goes Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Then the Arizona Cardinals are next. They're at 3. They're taking Will Anderson Jr. because they need edge. J.J. Watt's retiring. They don't really have any edge presence. You still get Jalen Carter. And I think I love Will Anderson Jr., but positional value, name 10 all-pro top 10 D tackles. You can't. There's like 5.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
5 or
like-
6. But you can name 10. You can name 10 pass rushers.
Yeah.
You can name 15 pass rushers, which should all be in the top 10 range. It is way harder to find a Jalen Carter than it is a Will Anderson. The Lions last year, Josh Pascal, who was their 2nd round pick, had a better year than Trayvon Walker, the number 1 overall draft pick. Edge is so easy to find. It is not easy to find a D tackle. If I'm the Bears, I'm slipping back to 4. Let the Colts take Bryce Young. C.J. Stroud then goes to the Texans. Cardinals are going to go edge rusher. And then you get the generational D tackle, who is the best D tackle by 2 rounds in this year's draft.
And that's our defense is D tackle. That's what it's been. It's been linebackers and defense, middle of the defense. But we built our name on. It makes sense for the Bears.
And you got Jack Sanborn, who had a really good rookie year after Roquan Smith got traded.
Yep.
So it is so much easier to find a pass rusher because let's say it's the Colts, the Bears, and then be at 4. You then get a 2nd round pick or a 3rd, whatever it is. You get a pass rusher there. There's Amadike Nzuka.
We own our future. It's just I will be so upset if we just take a player with that first overall, unless we're completely blown away.
Yeah.
I will be done being a Bears fan if we take a quarterback. I swear, I don't even care if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't care if he's better than Justin Fields coming out. You do not give up on someone that was top 7 in rushing this year, had no help,
Yeah, he had
and
no
still was
receivers.
putting up, and still was putting up MVP numbers. If he had a wide receiver, he would have been MVP.
Yeah, it's crazy that
Like
there's even
this
that
is just
story.
like if he is the guy. I don't like it's your fault if he's not the guy because like he 100% should be the guy. So our GM came out and the only reason I'm not upset with him is because I think he's just flirting with the idea to make teams more interested. It's the only reason he came out and said earlier in the week, he's like, I would have to be blown away for us to teach. Bull crap. You're not taking a quarterback. If you take a quarterback, I'm done being a Bears fan
No, he's
until
saying
you're
he's
fired.
saying that to raise the value of the number 1 overall draft
He
pick.
is. I know. I really hope it's that. Because, dear Lord, if you take a quarterback over Justin Fields, I'm going to be so upset.
That's when you sit down with Justin and say, "Hey, Justin, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you on the trade market, not actually trade you, but just to raise that number 1 overall, so we can get you more help."
Mhm.
Like I would sit down and be like, "We're
Yeah.
gonna scheme together.
That'd be fun.
I need you to delete everything. I need to delete everything Bears
Yeah.
on your
I would,
Instagram and
I would be,
Twitter."
that would be, I'd be under, that'd be, you'd be, that would hurt the market so bad, though.
I
The
don't
Bears
care.
need money right now.
I
The
don't
Bears
care.
need money so much. They need money
Yeah,
so bad.
the
They're trying to move, like,
there are so
yeah.
many good pass rushers that could be in the second round. You got Felix Anudike Uzama, Isaiah Foskey, Andre Carter, BJ Ojolari. Sadly,
Not to mention, you got like you mentioned, Cam Jordan. You could get in trade. You got
yeah.
like all these players that you can still get in free agency and trade. I don't think there's a guy in this draft that's like there's not an Aiden Hutchinson of last year.
Well, it's
That's
Will
like, oh yeah,
Anderson.
we'll take him.
No, it's Will Anderson.
Yeah, it is, but I still think Aiden had the name value over Will Anderson. I just like I'm saying I would be it. Let's say this was last year and the Bears were at where they at. Justin Fields had the same seat year somehow. I would be okay with them taking Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not okay with them taking anyone besides the players. Like you got to trade down. I don't care. You got to trade down to at least like at least 3 or 4 or 5. Like
I think the Colts is the best
big
pick
deal.
for them to trade back to. If the Colts
No, I
offer you
agree
a
with you.
deal, even if it's only 2 first-round picks and nothing else, I'm still taking it. Because guess what? Next year they're gonna suck.
Yeah, because you
still
only
have a top
slip
10
down to
pick.
4.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
still get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Or
Yeah.
let's just say in a magical world, right? The Texans don't take a quarterback. They go Will Anderson. Jalen Carter goes at 3. You then
Because
again,
for some reason their coach believes in Davis Mills.
and they still have number 12. They can get Will Levis.
It could happen.
Like CJ Stroud then is there at 4. You trade that
Yep.
pick right back to someone else. You keep sliding down. If I'm the Bears, I might not take like if Jalen Carter is off the board at 4, I'm trading back again. I'm being serious. I think Jalen Carter is the
I'd
only
be
guy.
I'd be less mad if we took CJ Stroud at 4 than if we took him at 1.
No, I would no.
I'd be
sorry.
like I wouldn't, but I'd be less mad.
If I'm the Bears and Jalen Carter is not
Yeah.
there in the top 4, if he's gone when you pick, keep trading back. Don't stop. I would have.
Yeah.
I might not even take a first round pick this year. If it means I
I
get,
want to be a part.
if I get 5 second round picks, 4 third
You're
round
not
picks,
winning
like,
the Super Bowl next year.
no, get as many
You're
second and
not.
thirds as you can.
I will say that as a Bears fan. I know we're not winning the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like to other Bears fans that are holding out hope. I saw one TikToker. He's like, "We're going 16-1 next year." I'm like, "You're freaking dumb."
As a Browns fan,
we'll maybe have a winning record.
yeah, as a Browns fan, all I'm hoping for is a playoff appearance. I don't even need a Super Bowl next year. I just
Where
need a
I'm at,
playoff
man.
appearance. Like
I'm just hoping for not being embarrassed. That's where I'm at.
if we are a team that like for at least at minimum half the season is like, oh, could they win the AFC North? They're 1 game out. They have the AFC North this week. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. We're done. We don't have to win a Super Bowl next year. If we can be in the lead for the AFC North for 5 weeks, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. The Bengals can have it when we're done, but I want 5 weeks where I can say we're the best team in our division. That's all I want. But yeah, we're not winning a Super Bowl either next year. Not next year. I think the year after is our year.
I think if you get a few pieces, you could make a run. But I don't know.
I mean, I'm still gonna.
I'm done picking. I've liked the Browns a lot of previous years. I even liked them not to win the Super Bowl this year, but like Baker just kept breaking my heart, man.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Don't worry, he broke my heart way more than he broke yours. But
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah, that's our opinions of this week's for the NFL season. If you guys
Yep.
did enjoy, please really like, comment, and subscribe. Hit our link trees in the description. Go follow Aaron on everything. Go buy his merch from his store. Go follow me on Twitter. I've been trying to post a lot more on Twitter and TikTok. Go follow our TikTok. I'm gonna try and post clips there as well. But we'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.